Thomas Edison, we know him as the man behind the light bulb, a man often hailed as one of America's greatest inventors, but was he really? Edison was the Steve Jobs of his time. Brilliant but ruthless, he knew how to sell technology, and more importantly, how to surround himself with the right people. Take the light bulb. Edison wasn't the first to invent it. Several inventors were already working on electric light before him, but Edison made it commercially viable, and maybe even more importantly, he knew how to turn it into a story. But that's not where his journey as an inventor began. Thanks to lessons from Station Master Mackenzie in Mount Clemens, Edison became a night telegraph operator for the Grand Trunk Railway in Canada. He earned those lessons as a reward after saving the station master's young son from an oncoming train. That moment sparked the beginning of his inventive thinking. Discomfort breeds innovation, and for young Edison, it led to some unusual ideas. Like the time a railway bridge was destroyed by drifting ice, telegraph lines snapped, and train traffic was paralyzed. But Edison had a creative solution. He borrowed a locomotive's steam whistle and used Morse code to send acoustic messages. No cables needed, just steam and ingenuity. That same inventive spirit brought him, at age 22, to New York. He started working for a company that made stock tickers, early devices that printed stock prices using telegraphy. Edison improved the system, made it faster, more reliable, more profitable, and people noticed. Soon he earned his first fortune. With $10,000 in his pocket, a massive sum at the time, Edison built his own workshop in Menlo Park, New Jersey. Not just a workshop, the world's first industrial research and development lab. Here, his business empire began. His very first patent? Not a world-changing invention, but a vote-counting machine for elections which nobody really wanted to use. It taught him a valuable lesson. Inventions only matter if you can make money with them. But his big breakthrough came in 1877, the phonograph, a machine that could record and play back sound. It felt like magic. For the first time, the human voice could be preserved. Edison became an instant celebrity. Journalists dubbed him the Wizard of Menlo Park, and the myth of Edison, the genius inventor, was born. But how many of his inventions were actually his? Because Edison ran a lab full of brilliant minds. Many of the technologies that bear his name were actually developed, tested, and refined by others. What Edison did have was a vision and a killer instinct for timing, patents, and publicity. You could say Edison didn't get rich by having the best tech. He got rich by having the smartest strategy. To Edison, inventions weren't gifts to humanity. They were property, ownership, and he defended that property fiercely. At Menlo Park, he commanded a whole team of engineers, tinkerers, and thinkers, a kind of startup long before the word existed. They built, they tested, they dreamed, but the patents? Almost always in Edison's name. One of the people who briefly worked for him was none other than Nikola Tesla. No, not the car, the man. Tesla was young, brilliant, and idealistic. Edison hired him to improve his DC generators, a tough challenge. He promised Tesla $50,000 if he succeeded, a staggering sum. Tesla did it, and when he asked for the money, Edison laughed in his face. When you become a full-fledged American, you will appreciate an American joke, he supposedly said. Tesla wasn't the only one who felt betrayed. Edison's view of inventions as personal property led to countless lawsuits and legal conflicts. When it turned out that British scientist Joseph Swan had independently built and patented a working light bulb before Edison, Edison accused him of plagiarism. But the British courts disagreed. Swan was right. Edison had to share the UK patent. Eventually, their companies merged, not out of friendship, but out of necessity. Edison wanted innovation, but only when he could control it. He didn't just fight competitors. He fought progress itself when it threatened his business, and when a new technology emerged that could bring down his empire, alternating current, Edison turned to his darkest tactics yet. Today, we mostly know AC/DC as a rock band, but originally those letters stood for one of the fiercest tech battles in history: alternating current versus direct current, AC versus DC. The stakes? The future of the power grid and billions in infrastructure contracts. Alternating current, AC, was more efficient. It could be transmitted across long distances with minimal loss. Direct current, DC, Edison's system only worked well close to the power source, but Edison had already invested heavily in DC, financially and emotionally. His reputation, his empire, were on the line. When entrepreneur George Westinghouse, backed by Nikola Tesla, began promoting AC, the battle got ugly. Edison pulled out all the stops. He warned the public AC was deadly, and he didn't do it quietly. He launched a public campaign, electrocuting animals with AC live to show how dangerous it was. Cats, dogs, even an elephant named Topsy was executed in this way, all to make one point: see, AC kills. In 1887, officials from New York State approached Edison. Could electricity be used for capital punishment? Edison saw an opportunity. He recommended using AC, the rival's technology, for the electric chair. That way the public would associate alternating current with death. The first execution followed in 1890. It was horrific. The man, William Kemmler, only died after multiple agonizing shocks. The room filled with the smell of burning flesh. But Edison still didn't win. Westinghouse won the contract to power the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago, a huge blow to Edison. Soon after, Tesla and Westinghouse were also awarded the contract to build the Niagara Falls hydroelectric plant. The verdict was clear. AC had won the war of currents. And to this day, it powers the world's electric grid. The future was electric, but not because of Edison. That honor belongs to someone else, a man with lightning in his mind and ideas far ahead of his time, Nikola Tesla. In my next video, I'll dive into the bizarre, brilliant, and heartbreaking story of this true visionary, the man who wanted to give the world everything and then asked for nothing in return. Thanks for watching. See you next time.